Hey there YouTube, I am Steve Bonin. This is Urban DIY, a channel dedicated to woodworking hobbyists working in small spaces with limited resources. Hey YouTube, in our last episode we built these wooden runners in anticipation of putting drawers into this machine cabinet. One of the reasons for doing these wooden sliders first was so that I can get an accurate interior measurement that'll allow me to build the drawers more accurately. Anyways, let's get some measurements and see where we are at. The overall depth of the box is 17 1/4. I will not be making the drawers that deep. I want some of the runner to remain in the box to support the drawer, and it's probably going to be about 2 inches. So we'll make our drawers anywhere between 15 1/2 and 16 inches. The overall height is 24 3/4, which doesn't really matter for what we're doing because the wood has been already cut to 24 and I want to get 3 drawers out of the 24 inches. So we will do something less than 8 inches or somewhere around 8 inches. But this is the critical measurement here. And we're at 15 1/2. So let's get started. Okay, as I said before, this is just shy of 24 inches. So I want to get 3 out of it. And so since we're going to do 3 cuts, 1, 2, and a trim, I'm going to make them 24 divided by 3, which is 8 1/8 of an inch for the kerf of the blade, makes it 7 7/8. So let's cut them at 7 3/4 just to be safe. This will be the sides and the front and the back of each drawer. For those of you who have not seen my earlier videos, you will note that this is not the first time that I have hooked up the vacuum cleaner backwards. Because I don't have a full-size table saw, and I don't have any helpers at home right now, other than the dog, and he's not very good at holding wood. I have used the machine stand and a couple of 2x4s to act as an in-feed table, and I am going to desperately try to cut this 8-foot piece of wood straight. So let's give her a try. Well, that was a bit of a bummer. I was good until the last 1/4 inch there, or 1/2 inch. And the weight of the wood was just too much for the table saw, and it was starting to tip over and I couldn't get it through. Anyway, I think we have enough wood there. So I'm going to cut this board at 48 inches. And I'm just going to go over and do that on the chop saw. Anyway, onward and upward. Let's get to cutting the dados for the bottom, for the bottoms of these drawers. So we want the dados for the bottom to be all the way along the bottom. We want it to be the same front, back, well, not back, front and two sides. The back will actually be cut off at the dado so that we can slide the back in. Anyway, so we want it to start about 1/4 inch up from the bottom, and we want it to be the thickness of the 1/4 inch plywood that we're going to use for the bottom. I haven't measured it. I expect that it's just shy of 1/4 of an inch. But we don't need to measure it. We'll use the wood itself and the kerf stick to get us the perfect dado. So I've zoomed in here so that you can see that I'm using a setup block. I'm using a 1/4 inch setup block. It's probably a little bit too tight. Let's try that again. Okay. So we set it for 1/4 inch depth this way. So it'd be like that. And let's set our height to be 1/4 of an inch. They say you can feel thousandths of an inch with your fingers. It's really something that you really can. Something you can't see. That's one of the flat top teeth, and it's dead on. So I'm going to leave it there. So to cut the dados, I'm going to use my wonderful push blocks to push the wood through the saw blade. Interestingly enough, making these was, I think, one of the most popular videos I've ever put out. So I will link to those in the description if you're interested in how to make these. Anyway, onward and upward, let's get these dados cut. We are also going to cut the dado in this test piece that we had left over from cutting up our wood earlier. Okay, so this is our test piece, and this is the first pass that we did. And we got that using the setup block. So if you pretend that your fence is here and we're cutting on this side. So the setup block got us this first part of the dado. And this is a piece that I cut off of the wood that I'm going to use as the drawer bottoms. So if we put that up against the fence also and bring the saw blade up to that, now what we will have is a cut that is the thickness of the drawer bottom plus the kerf of the blade. So then what we do is we use a kerf stick. Now this kerf stick has been created specifically for this blade, and we run our cut along the kerf stick like this, and that will shift the whole thing by the thickness of the blade. Anyway, let's get that set up and do our first cut on our test piece. So I'm going to put the setup block in there. I'm going to move that along because this is a little bit warped, and we're almost there. There. So lock that in. Take our setup block off. I'm going to put my glove back on because it's only about 5 degrees Celsius out here. And let's go for broke. So we're going to have to make another pass on this, but I just want to see if we think that is going to work. Hopefully you can see this, but it definitely looks like it's going to work. I guess we should actually do it, and we'll reset up for the nice. Maybe not quite as tight as I would like, but certainly very close. So in our initial setup, maybe we will try to be a 32nd of an inch tighter. So what I did is after the wood touched, I gave it a little bit of an extra turn to flex the blade a little bit. Hopefully not too much. Moment of truth. I made it too tight. So when I did that setup, I pushed it too tight. And as such, I am going to have to use a workpiece and try to make the dado slightly wider by maybe a 32nd of an inch. So there's the width of our dado, and I'm just going to use the scale to try to increase that by a 32nd of an inch. Actually, I'm going to sneak up on that. I'm going to try to do a 64th of an inch. see if that's good enough. So that was enough. About a 64th of an inch. So the blade's set. Let's do the other ones. That's beautiful. That's really nice. Now, the last one was a little wobbly in the center. Oh, nice. Nice. Very nice. Okay, I think I'm going to call this episode there. Looking at the footage I have, it's probably still another half an hour after it's edited. So we're at somewhere around 15 minutes now. So anyway, here's a bit of a preview on the next episode. The boxes are built. And I'll just get the camera and show you the dados we just cut. So there's the dados we just cut. And as you can see, because we cut them all with the same pass, they are completely lined up, and that was the whole point. Let me just get this one, there's better light. There, you can really see. Let me see if I can zoom right into that corner. On this one, so let's zoom right into that corner. You can see that dado just lines right up. And when we use much the same method to do these corners here. And that's upcoming in the next episode. So for Urban DIY, this is Steve Bonin signing out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And we'll see you next time. Check out these other videos.